Okay, so after assignments, we're going to go down here to tests and quizzes. Assessment title, you're going to type in your assessment title. You can see I've done this already. I was having some problems with the videos. You'll click on the first one here, create using assessment builder. It's a nice option. The second one I'm told by CLTD is not as easy. You'll click create. I'm not going to do that because I've already created one. You'll see the quiz is listed down here under working copies. Once I click publish, it'll come under publish copies. I'm going to click on the drop down. I'm going to go to edit. Okay, and I can add a question type. So these are all different types of questions. You can fill in a blank. You can use multiple choice, short essays, surveys. These are things I've used before. I haven't really used any of the other ones. You're welcome to play around with them. Let's try fill in the blank. If I click on it, it'll then again load the next site where we can put in all the information. Okay, so the first option down here says answer point value. So what is your question worth? Display point value while students taking the exam. Yes. Now this is giving us how do you type out your question in this blocks below and include your answer. So it says place curly brackets around the word requiring the blank response field. So your answer is going to go in curly brackets. You can see here roses are in brackets red, curly brackets. Insert a pipe between answer options like synonyms. So if you've got multiple words that could be the answer, you can put this vertical line, insert an asterisk for wild cards. I don't understand. So let's say a curly brackets divergent plate boundary is where plates are moving apart. So divergent is going to be the answer. That's why it's in curly brackets. I'm going to put a vertical line because you could also say a constructive plate boundary is where plates are moving apart. I would even accept mid-ocean ridge. Let's see how they would like to spell it. Yeah, so I mean your difficulty here is that people might spell it differently. So you might want to type all of them, ridge. Or they could even say altogether, mid-ocean ridge. Okay, so I would accept all of those as being answers. Case sensitive, do you want it to be case sensitive? I wouldn't advise. Mutually exclusive, when checked answers including more than one blank with identical answer option must have unique answers. Okay, so correct answer. So it's, if you're in the case here that you've got the sides of the coin are heads or tails, correct answer must be heads or tails, half correct answer, heads. So it's in that example. Ignore spaces. When checked, the student's response will neither require space characters nor will it be counted wrong if it's missing space characters. To me, that sounds like a good idea. If you want to attach anything, assign to parts. So you could break your test or quiz up into different parts. So on the previous slide when we were setting up the assignment, you could have defined parts. I'm just going to have one part for now, so that's fine. Assign to question pools. Here you can actually create a pool of questions that you could draw from every year. So if I created a pool of questions that was called plate tectonics and I put all of these in it, then in future or for future tests or in future years, if I import this into future years, I can take questions from the pool in different orders instead of having to just copy exactly this quiz. So that would be useful. I haven't created a pool though, so we'll go back and do that. Do we want to give feedback on a correct answer or incorrect answer? So correct answer, you are amazing. You need to do more reading. Obviously you wouldn't type either of these. Maybe you would type that you need to do more reading. You'd click save. Okay, and once it's loaded again, you can see your question number 1 here. You can, I think you can change the order. And here's my question. Something plate boundaries where plates move apart. And the answers are here. And you can see the different feedback we can give. You can change the points here, or you could change the order if we had more questions. And I just wanted to see how we can preview. I think we can't. If we click back here on assessments, okay, so down here I could click on preview to check what it'll look like. Okay, and so when you preview, you've actually got to run the assessment. So begin assessment. Okay, and you can see what it'll look like here. Question 1, a plate boundary is where plates move apart, a divergent. And then you can click here for submit for grading. Okay, once you clicked submit grading, it would have brought you to a generic screen and there wouldn't have been much more that you can do. Okay, so now I want to show you how to add some other questions to your quiz. So if you're not on the screen, you click on tests and quizzes. You're on the first tab, assessments. You're on working copies, not published copies. And here is the quiz I've created. I go select action, edit. Okay, so here's my one question. I want to add a question. So first, let me try multiple choice. Okay, so this here, answer point value, how many points I'm going to make this question? I'm going to make it 2. You'll see why now. Do I want to display the points for the students? Yes. Answer, do I want a single correct answer? You can even deduct points for an incorrect answer. Do I want multiple correct answers but the students only have to select one, or multiple correct and they have to select all the right ones? I'm going to do this one. And so right, less, wrong, all or nothing. So I think this first one, if they get one of them of my questions right and not the second one of, well, choosing for multiple choice, they still get 1 point. Or here they have to get both of them right to get both points. So I'm going to be nice. Question, the following are types of plate boundaries. Okay. Convergent. I'm going to tick here because this is a correct answer. Divergent again. This is a wrong answer because I only want 2 marks for this. Thrust. And you don't have to fill in the last one if you don't want. You can just do 3. Insert additional answers. Randomize answers. I think this means that each student would get a different order. Require rationale. They can explain their answer. You would have to go back and read it though. Assign to a part, assign to a question pool. We're going to leave that for now. Correct answer feedback, incorrect answer feedback you could give here. So let's click save. And you can see here's my multiple choice. Let's add one more. I'm going to go for short answer or essay. So you can decide how many points it's worth. Let's say 5. Display point value, yes. Let's think of a question. Describe heat flow at mid-ocean ridge, highlighting the role that hydrothermal circulation plays. Okay, so I'm actually going to add an attachment here, and it's going to be an image. So I've just downloaded this. I must admit I didn't get the link of where I got it to reference it, and I've shut down my browser. So underneath here you could say reference for picture and give it here, and I'm going to add to the end of my question, use the image below to guide your answer. I don't know if that's a very good question. I could assign it to parts. I could assign it to pools, which I'll describe in the next video because this video is getting too long. I can then put in model answers and feedback. So let's click save. So you'll see here's my fill in the blank, here's my multiple choice, here's my essay question. You can't see the picture because we're in like the edit mode. You would have to go to preview. So you scroll to the top here, you go to preview, and you've got to actually do the assessment. There's my fill in the blank, there's my multiple choice, and then this is my essay question. Yeah, I often find I have to come to preview just to check the layout of things. I haven't quite perfected this layout of the quizzes. And you can see here's a box for the students to type their essay answer. Okay, so let's go exit. And let's get out of here. And I'm going to click back here on this assessment tab. And you can see your quiz down here. We need to publish it now. So you would click on these actions, click on publish. It says review the settings and adjust level of notification. Click publish to make assessment visible to students. So let's click edit settings because we haven't really edited our settings. Assessment released to entire site, so it's everyone in this on this course. Number of submissions allowed, unlimited, or do you want to do only one submission for the quiz? The quiz is going to be available from what time and is due at what time and has a time limit of 1 hour. So let's say this is today when I'm doing the video. Let's say that this hold on, this I'm going to let you guys write the quiz at 8 o'clock there, and it's due same day at 9. Okay, done. So I mean that's giving a 1 hour time limit. You can also go here and set the time limit to 1 hour. Late submissions, will you allow them? If you can, you can set a date here. Email notifications, send an email for every submission that the student makes. Send one digest each day. So like if 20 students submit, you'll get one email saying 20 have submitted, or the top one you'll get 20 emails saying each student has submitted. Or no, I don't want to see emails, you're just going to come look here anyway. Question scores, show question point value during assessment. Yes, we want the students to see what they've been, the point numbers. Ensure students take exam from a specific location. Not sure. Require locked browser. I think what this was is that the student can't open other tabs in the browser while writing the test to like look up answers. But the CLTD lady said they can open other browsers. So if they're doing it in Chrome, they could open Internet Explorer to look there. Add message that students will see after submission. Exceptions to time delay. So yeah, any exceptions groups, you can set the times. Grading. If multiple submissions, record the highest score. So if students submit more than once. Anonymous grading, hide student identity from grader. Gradebook, send assessment score to gradebook immediately, regardless of options below. I wouldn't suggest this, or you can see like often a student, for example, will type mid-ocean ridge and leave out a G, and it will mark it as incorrect. And if you want to actually go give them the point because it was the right idea, just a spelling mistake, it will stop the scores from going through to the grade book. But I'm assuming you could overwrite scores. Set how feedback will be authorized. Question level feedback. Set the type of feedback students receive. So this is all if you filled out the feedback stuff. You can look through this. Set advanced options, release questions, and the following. Set advanced feedback options. So all of this is if you want to give them feedback through the test. I'm not going to go through it. Layout and appearance. Navigation, linear access to a question with no return to previous page. So one question on a screen and they can't go backwards, or here the students can go back and forward between the exam. Question layout, each question is on a separate page, each part's on a separate page. Complete assessment is displayed on one web page. I think that might be easier. It saves time having to load constantly. Numbering, continuous numbering each part. Mark review, yeah, nothing more I can see here. And then I promise to go back to the top tab, which you could just give a bit of a description to the student. It's going to take 1 hour, blah, blah, blah. Do you want them to do an honors pledge? Do you want them to attach anything? Okay, and then you would go down here, save and publish. And I think you'd go here, send notification below to students. Do you want it to be sent out, or you can just push the publish button if you don't want to, and if you'll do the test in class. I just wanted to show you what it looks like once students have done a quiz. So I'm going to go to a previous course, and you can see here under, this is under tests and quizzes, I'm going to go here to published copies. So this is a quiz students have done already, and I'm going to go here down to, I think, scores. So this students have submitted. I'm going to just click on one of their submissions. Okay, so this is the table of contents of questions that I asked. So I had 12 questions, and then I go down here, and you can see question 1 was worth 1 point. I said click on the correct answer below, heat transfer within the Earth's drives. And you can see here answer was D, and so they clicked on D, so they got 1 point. If by chance I wasn't happy about this, and like they had clicked on C, but the correct answer is D, but I wanted to give them a mark for it or half a mark or something. You can physically come up here and type and change the marks. You can also type comments to the students as you're going through. I'm just trying to think of anything else. I asked some essay questions. So I did do those those essays, and so students wrote stuff, and I had to come here and type in what their score was. And so yeah, so you can go through here, and then when you get to the bottom, you go update, and then I wanted to show you how it loads into the gradebook. And then in the left-hand menu here on the screen, you're going to scroll down to gradebook. I've had to zoom in just because I didn't want you to see student marks. This is the gradebook screen, and you can see I've got this first one here, quiz 1, plate tectonics, is the quiz you've just seen, and so all the marks loaded here for the students are loaded automatically. These other assessments that I've added marks for, I would have clicked on add gradebook item, and they would have added them in, but this was just to show you how I can load the quiz information automatically.